this episode, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of picking the right keyword phrases to get to the top of Google and get you more traffic, inquiries, and sales. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Chris and I'm the owner of Traffic Boost Academy. I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to SEO, and I'd like to share with you one of my top tips to find the right keyword phrases and to basically make sure that your content is relevant to the search results you're looking for. So I want to talk to you specifically about keyword choice. And firstly, let's kind of explain what we mean by that by just doing a very simple Google search. And let's say, for instance, I'm looking for a hairdresser, and I live on the Gold Coast, but I live specifically in Tweed Heads. Now we've just started working on my wife's salon, a little bit of the mechanic's car, so don't judge me here. If we look for Arcadia Hair, here we are just here, hairdresser at Tweed Heads. So when I talk about keywords or keyword phrases, I'm talking about that specific phrase just there. Now that might seem simplistic, but you'd be surprised how many people we speak to that really don't think about what the user's intent is when they're actually writing the content for their website. So how do you know what that user intent is? We're going to talk about this particular tool here, Ubersuggest, but before we get on to that, there's a really simple way that you can find out user intent simply by using the actual autocomplete in Google. So if you go to google.com.au and you type in hairdresser, and let's just say we type in Tweed Heads, you can see that it's already coming up, but you can also see some others. Tweed Heads West, Tweed Heads Mall, Tweed Heads Heights, and so on and so forth. Now why that's relevant is because that is what's trending right now in Google, and there's some quick wins if you're going to write your content to that. So basically, from a keyword strategy perspective, you want to think about the top level keyword or keywords you're going to focus on, and then you want to think about, I'll just click through to my wife's salon, you want to think about your website in terms of that. So another thing also, and I know there might be a few major concepts to take in today, but one of the things that's really important is to think of a website like a bunch of individual pages, because each individual page has its own theme and its own content that it actually ranks for. So for instance, this particular page would rank for hairdresser Tweed Heads, but if we look at other pages, we can see that there's other content that they will actually rank for. So just wanted to kind of point that out, that if you have 20 or so pages on your website, think about an overarching strategy. Might be hairdresser Tweed Heads, then it might be color treatments, it might be all of the different services that you offer. It could be hair cutting. It could be a whole bunch of different types of services, trims, treatments, tints. And if you're really serious about ranking better for these phrases, then you really want to make sure that each page is optimized for that content. But without getting too sidetracked, another tool, and I mean, we have the paid version simply because it's worthwhile for us. To be honest, if you're doing this just as a once-off, it's really worth it. I think it's $10 US per month for the paid version, because with the free version, you can only do 3 searches and then it wants you to sign up. But this is a tool that was released by Neil Patel. He's a SEO guy in the States. One of the bigger guys that basically just designed a tool. We're sick and tired of seeing people use the Google Ads tool and having to log in each time, and it was really convoluted and clunky, and he's designed this tool which is really, really helpful. And I just want to give you a quick tour of it. So what you can basically do on the left hand side here, you can do a site audit. That's probably more for the tech heads here. What we want to do is look at keyword research and keyword overview. Why this is relevant is because if I type in hairdresser Gold Coast, it tells me the approximate search traffic on a monthly basis. Now it's saying hairdresser Gold Coast has about 5,400 searches per month. It does talk about a lot of other detail, but the most important point there is that 5,000 searches approximately per month. A good rule of thumb to expect is that if you're in position 1 for a specific phrase, we would think that depending on the quality of content, somewhere between 15 to 20% of the search result just for being in that top phrase, that top position in Google. But without kind of going down that rabbit hole too far, if I just type in a couple of different, sorry, I've misspelled that. I'll just wait for that search to come up. Where are we? Here we are. So just go like that. Hair salon Gold Coast. I think it would be less because I know it's not as popular. Well, there we go. Again, these are also really important. These are just, hang on, 1 second. There we go, 5,400. These are just approximates, but the point is, if you were, like we are, a marketing agency, oh, and again, I've spelled that incorrect. Oh, there we go. Marketing agency Gold Coast, 480 searches per month. If I then said SEO Gold Coast, 880 searches per month. Now what's interesting about our industry is that we're highly competitive, but there isn't always people searching to get these particular phrases, and that's why this tool is important, because you might think, oh wow, that's a particular phrase that people search heaps for. Let's not get bogged down in the exact search results. We just want to see if it's valuable or not. And I'd suggest that if you're targeting phrases between 500 and 1,500 searches per month, that's a good start. So for example, if I'm a mechanic and I'm in Burleigh Heads, I'll just use that just without the heads. 600 searches per month. If I can find phrases, and I would say if it's a local service, that you would probably look to target maybe the target maybe the areas in and around for that particular service. So Mechanic Palm Beach. The point about this really is that it's giving you now a tool that you can test your theories and make sure that the keyword search phrases that you pick are actually going to have search traffic. Because I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. If we type in here, the coolest company in the galaxy. Okay, Straight Up Digital, number 1. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because there's only 3 searches per month and they're probably just me. It's not going to get real people searching, therefore there's no value in it. But I'm at the top of Google, but there's no search traffic. So what you want to do when you're looking for keyword search terms is build a list of them. We'd like to work with maybe 8 to 10. Pick the page that's going to target those 1 or 2 phrases. Think hierarchically, so think like a book. If the book has a title, each chapter would have a title, and think of, or a heading should I say, and think of that chapter like a page. Think of the book like your website overall, so it has a theme. And then within each title, within each chapter, you would talk about that specific thing. So if you have a website that's, about hairdressing, then the homepage would talk about hairdresser tweed heads. This might talk about hair salon tweed heads. This might talk about hair treatments tweed heads. We might break those down to other pages that talk about shampoo and trim or colors and so forth. So you're just starting to think now about writing your content so that it's structured in such a way that people are going to search for it and find it. And so I really wanted to use this episode to display for you that there is a bit of science behind writing the content on your website. I mean, it's cool to just get there and write content, but if people aren't going to find it interesting, should I say, then they're not going to, continue to read it. And if they don't read it, then you're going to have low scores when it comes to some of the signals that Google talks about. Now, what I wanted to show you is some examples of the scores that they being the search engines look for. So what I'm doing is I'm just logging into a tool. It's a free tool and it's called Google Analytics, and just basically works by putting a code on your site, and it basically tells Google all of what it needs to know about the user or the traffic that's coming to the website. So what I can see in this particular page is the traffic for a period of time, so the 15th of September to the 12th of October. That was just what was picked. I can see in here the different channels that people have come in by. So direct is when they've directly typed in the address in the browser up here rather than found it. Organic search result is where they've found it and then clicked through from the search engines. Organic social is, of course, Facebook, Instagram, all of the normal socials. Paid social if there's been an ad run or a link on a website where they've clicked through. So this is a small sector, and I just really wanted to show you that the average, so let's get a large, say for example, a large volume, because I don't have a large amount of volume on our website. We're a very niche website. This particular website is a client of ours that we've worked on with for many years, and you can see that in the month they had 1,500 engaged sessions on the website. They had an average of 1 minute and 3 seconds that the person was on. They had 5.6 events per session, and in this case the events is pages that they navigated to. And then you can see the different channels and what their measurements are. So it's pretty typical that paid search, which is Google Ads, has a lower engagement rate and a lower time on the site because they're coming there for a specific reason. And then organic search is higher because they're navigating around and reading a little bit more. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because if you pick a keyword that is going to have a high social signal in that people will click through, read around, stay there, they won't navigate away without looking at pages first, then the results you'll get back are better from the search engines. So the summary really of this episode so far is the first thing you want to think about when you come about approaching the content on your website is you want to think about what your main message is. And again, like I said, think about it like a book. If you are writing about a book, you would write about a specific topic. Then the chapters in each book are the pages. Therefore, they will need to have their own heading, excuse me, on that page. And then that page, or that chapter, should I say, would talk about that specific topic. Now, where would you find those keywords, if you want to call them that, or keyword phrases? Like I said, you can use Google search so you can see what's actually trending. So if I said marketing agency, this is one that I searched before, but you can start to see the ones that are trending. From there, you can use tools like Ubersuggest to get more specific search traffic. And then you could build, what I'd suggest that you do is build basically out the theme. So we're going to write about marketing agency. And then you might be able to put the amount of search for that. And then types of marketing agency. Then, and you can break it down so that you've got an idea on each page what you're going to write about rather than just word vomit. Because the thing is, real people read this. The search engine's one objective is to return the most relevant search result, but people are actually going to read this, and then how they interact with the website is the signal that gets given back to Google, and therefore you're going to rank better. So summary is, in this particular episode, think about keyword search phrases in terms of your content. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We'll be releasing new videos as we go, and we'll basically be giving you out the top tips that we've found where you can do your own SEO. And there's quite a percentage of people still might need help, so definitely reach out. But if you follow these closely and take them away and I guess basically look at the content for what it is, then I think that you'll be able to get yourself further up in the search engine rankings, get more traffic, more sales, and more inquiries. Speak to you in the next video.